Okay, so today we'll talk about Ettore Sotsass, an important designer and architect from Italy. Let's see first why we talk about him today on the day of 31st of December 2022. Just a second, I need to activate. I don't understand why it's not functioning. Okay. So Ettore Sotsass, born on September 14th, 1917, and he died on the 31st of December 2007. Was an Italian architect and designer during the 20th century. His body of work included furniture, jewelry, glass, lighting, home objects, and office machine design, as well as many buildings and interiors. His style was defined by bright color choices, statement pieces, and decoration. Ettore Sotsass was an iconic figure in design history. So, he's called Austria's anti-design hero. He was Italian, but not sure. I think he had some connection with Austria. Either he worked there or, but you see here, he is described as an Italian architect and designer, and here Ettore Sotsass, Austria's anti-design hero. Here he is in a very atypical image, because you don't expect from a designer to look like this, even in the old age, and particularly a very successful designer, and he was immensely successful, but he looks like a man at the end of the rope. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter the age. It's just that it's strange. It's really strange. I never saw a designer even less successful to look like he does. It's almost funny somehow. Anyway, Ettore Sotsass. An interesting man, actually, and we'll see some very special pieces of furniture and designs that he did. Indeed, very colorful. Now, as a young man, he does look like a rebel in a way, you could say, the 60s, ready to. But even in this picture, you see that broken world behind him, and clearly a non-conventional man. And I personally think we need more non-conventional people, especially in the field of creativity. Here he is melancholy, and truly a very interesting man. Ettore Sotsass. Now, look what he did. He did all kinds of things which are, at the very edge of design, at the very edge of architecture, at the very edge of art. It is clear that he liked color, and he liked decoration. He liked, capriciousness. I mean, these are not pieces that one would describe as being, functional, and that's it. In fact, I would say they were rather whimsical. I mean, look at this. What is it? Is it a piece of furniture? Is it a sculpture? It's a meditation in a way on the fragility of life and the fragility of everything. But as I said, he achieved great success with his pieces. Or this one, what is it? I mean, we see some shelves which could be used, but others could be used a little bit less because they are not horizontal. But it depends, it's this aspect of his, that's why he was called the anti-design hero, that he was a designer, and at the same time, he was the opposite of a designer. Because he problematized the designed object, and the object became capriciously endowed with non-conventional powers, so to speak. But again, we see a creativity at work that found enjoyment, although his face didn't show a lot of enjoyment. But his pieces are rather, I would say they are pleasing to the eye. Sorry about the resolution of these pictures. He designed that mirror too. Maybe even the chair. He designed everything. Or look at this, a shelving system. It's a shelving system which is unusual, because again, it doesn't have, it has a few horizontal pieces like shelves, but then vertically, it uses, oblique planes and oblique pieces, which is again unusual. Oh, look at this. What is this? I don't even know what it is. It's funny, but what exactly is it? Or this. So you see, he designs things which are on the verge of being unidentifiable or unrecognizable. So they are in a way between, designed objects and sculpture. Some kind of a sculpture, if we are to call it so. Ettore Sotsass, the glass. He did all kinds of exhibitions with his glass pieces, but even these, they could be used to an extent. But it is as if these objects were not actually created for a particular usage in mind. And I think it is exactly here where it resides the interest, even the power of his pieces, that they transcend function. It is clear for me that the designer makes capricious choices, artistic choices, and thus, makes strict functionalism questionable. It's a piece which emanates light, right? But it's unusual, but it's pleasing in a way. It depends if you like this kind of aesthetics. A telephone. Can you believe it? Why not? Why couldn't the telephone be like this? Typewriter. Sorry for the resolution. Sorry for the resolution. Even here, the resolution is not great, but nevertheless, we are paying homage to Ettore Sotsass on the day he died. Maybe not too many people do this, but we do. And look at this one, it's funny. It is funny, it's like a pedestal or a little narrow, tall table with maybe a vase at the top. You can put some flowers there, but the whole thing is, it escapes, it escapes strict functionalism. And it brings in some probable joy, probable. He is easily recognizable. And once you see his pieces, you recognize an Ettore Sotsass piece very easily. Although there are people who, imitate him. Like we see written on the back of that piece, what is it? And indeed, this question is very legitimate for the pieces that Ettore Sotsass created. It is a typewriter, but, it could be something else almost. Although for a typewriter, you see the keyboard and so on. Architecture. Let's look at some buildings built by Ettore Sotsass. Italian architects convert Ettore Sotsass sketch into pavilion for French Architecture Festival. So what you are going to see is a pavilion built based on the sketch or sketches of Ettore Sotsass, but was not built by him. Some Italian architects did it. Here it is. I wonder if that's exactly how he would have liked it, you know, all black. But the inside is highly chromatic. Maybe it's an exhibition of his own works inside. But he did make a sketch of this pavilion, and it was built apparently for an architecture festival in France, based on his sketch. Architectura Monumentale 2002 by Ettore Sotsass, held at the Antonia Janon Gallery, Milan. So this is the sketch or the drawing or the rendering based on which those Italian architects built what we just saw. And inside, there are, imagine, artworks or renderings or drawings made by Ettore Sotsass. There is a certain infantile quality in his works, but he was a very serious man. We remember the pictures of him, maybe too serious. Ettore Sotsass designed M-A-U-I retreat is Memphis through and through. The so-called style of his design is called Memphis. So when we hear this word Memphis, we should think about Ettore Sotsass. Now, Casa Olabuenaga in Maui, Hawaii, 1989, 1997. Yes, the designer, lover of designs, and lover of colors, as we can see. Why not? Sharp, you know, edges, perhaps a joyous little house, or maybe not so little, in Hawaii. The question is, why not? Why couldn't a column be red? Why couldn't we have red or reddish ceramic tiles, you know, in some portions of the pavement? Why couldn't we have a red door? Why not? But here the interior is rather placid compared to what we just saw, but still the color plays its role, I would say, overall in the aesthetics of the building. But I do notice a kind of infantile element in his way of designing. Here it is a collection of radios. I don't know if he designed all these radios, which is possible actually. Anyway, village in Singapore. This is an interesting work. Singapore Village, Jasmine Hill, Singapore, 2000s. He designed all these buildings in Singapore. These six large, you know, villas. He uses color here as well. Casa Che, Italy, 1991, 1993. Casa Wolf, Colorado, United States, 1987, 1989. It is not, I confess, it's not my particular kind of architecture that I like, but I think it is important to be aware of various trends and various architectures and various designs and so on, because we can learn even from those who do not do things as we do them. Casa Mourmont in Belgium, 1999. This one more ample. Influences from the homes in Tamil Nadu date back to 1940. This is very interesting. Apparently, he took a trip to India and he discovered there an architecture which influenced him. So what he did and does, well, what he did, because he died, but what he did, maybe his office is still functioning, I don't know. But what he did was anticipated but by what you are going to see now in this region of India. I don't know where Tamil Nadu is, but we'll see some pictures now. Look, Memphis style buildings in India in 1940. At that time, he didn't yet build, you know, but this kind of joyous, you know, colorful facade did happen, and did happen in, you know, in a country where the conventions of European architecture or you know, academic architecture. Look at this, India. Now maybe it was repainted. I can't imagine this being from 1940, but it's very close to what he himself did and did both as a designer and as an architect. Interesting, but this is from India again, from before the war, before the Second World War, 1940. Now, what is this? A bus stop in Germany, perhaps? In Hanover, yes? Well, maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know what to say. Again, it's not my particular style of architecture that I like, but it is very much in the spirit of Ettore Sotsass, isn't it? And those X's probably make you think, what did he mean by them? They have a structural role, but they're also ornamental, and they could even have some kind of a symbolic meaning, you know. I don't know, I'm wondering, you know, maybe waiting for the bus, you could meet someone unknown, or have a chance encounter, and the X could refer to something like this. I don't know. I was just speculating. A Museum of Contemporary Art in Ravenna, in Italy, 1992. So he built quite a lot, although his fame resides mainly on his designs. Again and again, we have to acknowledge that color is very, very important for Ettore Sotsass. That's it. So, you know, he died on the 31st of December, and this is why we talked about him today. Thank you for being here.